Hey everybody, welcome back to a retro review, and tonight we have a very special issue. This is Amazing Spider-Man 238. Yes, it's the original copy. It does not have the lakeside tattoos, unfortunately, but I bought this many years ago, and I'm just happy to say that I've got it. So, you've got a classic story from Roger Stern as writer, John Romita Jr. as penciler, and inked by his father, John Romita Sr. You open up with Peter thinking about Uncle Ben and the responsibilities that he's had ever since his uncle passed due to him not taking the proper action. But then you get to see a car full of people speed away, and they almost hit Aunt May and her new boyfriend, Nathan Levinsky. So Peter jumps out, goes after him. There's a car crash. One guy named Georgie manages to make it away, throws a smoke bomb, and he gets away. Peter never finds him. But Georgie finds something very important here. I don't know how well you guys can see that, but it is actually what appears to be one of the Green Goblin's old hideouts with an outfit and everything. And in the end, somebody explodes the building. But Peter says, I've been in here, I've been in rooms like this before. I can still recognize the fixtures on the wall. The last time I saw a metal rack like that, it held a row of jet gliders, Norman Osborn's jet gliders. And in the end, I'll spoil it for you because the book's 40 some odd years old anyway. The Green Goblin is dead, and the Hobgoblin is born. The artwork in this book is magnificent. John Sr. inking John Jr. almost overpowers John Jr.'s particular art style and brings it a sensibility. I would have loved to have seen John Sr. ink most of John Jr.'s stuff in the beginning, because it would have been the best of both worlds. I know that Senior would have seen it as nepotism and taken a job away from another capable inker, but I think they would have made together one of the greatest art teams that never was. But this issue is the beginning of this Hobgoblin run, which unfortunately would be cut short because Roger Stern left the book after issue 250, leaving it in the hands of Tom DeFalco. And John Romita Jr. would also leave the title at issue 250, leaving the art duties in the hands of Ron Friends, I believe with inker Brett Breedy. But this is one of the best, most fun romps through classic Marvel that you can ever read, because you get the birth of a supervillain who is going to be a thorn in Spider-Man's side to this day. You get this awesome Romita cover, and then you get Romita artwork on the inside. I mean, what more could you actually want? This is part of that classic Roger Stern, John Romita Jr. run that everybody remembers so fondly, because you can feel the respect and the love Roger Stern has as a writer for Peter Parker as a character. You can see how he harkens back to Peter's younger days, how he builds up the suspense of who is this new villain and why should we care. And you get to see the cold-heartedness of this hobgoblin as he blows up the van. And the guy inside, Georgie, who helped him move all the equipment to make the hobgoblin, the birth of the hobgoblin, even possible. He takes that help, I'm not going to say friend, but he takes that help from Georgie and dispatches him like he's nothing. Because to the hobgoblin he was a means to an end. So you get to see exactly how cold-hearted and how just scary this new guy is. He found a serum. Well, he created the serum based on Romita, on Osborn's notes. But the hobgoblin was always supposed to be cold and calculating, whereas the green goblin was supposed to be cold and calculating, but much more insane. Much more that the knowledge that Peter Parker was Spider-Man almost broke his brain in half. And this character is much more cunning, calculating, and deadly. Because even though he doesn't know the identity of Peter Parker, it was not in the journals. You don't really know what his motivation is. You don't know why he wanted to become something bigger. And once you find out in a 1997 miniseries called Hobgoblin Lives by, I think it was George Perez started on the artwork, and then it was Ron Friends and Perez on inks, I believe, that finished it. But once you find out who it is, then you still have to question, this guy had it all. He had everything that anybody could ever want, so why would he want more? And that's where villains are born, is that they don't just want the easy apple to pick from here. They want to reach. They want to reach to the heavens and become so much more than they've ever been. They want to matter in all the wrong ways. They want people to remember them in all the wrong ways. So anyway, guys, that was Amazing Spider-Man 238, The Birth of the Hobgoblin, the first Hobgoblin.